Tesla is growing, and it's growing fast. Third quarter of 2021 is now behind us, and Tesla yet again delivered a record number of vehicles. Cybertruck and the semi-truck are getting delayed once again due to supply chain problems. If you did not tune into the live earnings call, do not worry, as I will go over the key points in this video. But first, let's get plugged in. Tesla has grown faster than anybody could have imagined. In fact, Tesla might just be the only company to increase its production so quickly, especially in terms of large manufactured objects. Currently at around 70% compound annual growth rate, Tesla will likely continue to grow at this rate as long as there are no material shortages, such as chips or batteries. Elon Musk seemed confident that at least 50% compound annual growth rate will be maintained regardless for quite a while. During the third quarter of 2021, Model 3 became the best-selling premium vehicle globally, leaving BMW 3 Series in second place and Mercedes C-Class in third. But Model Y will likely become the new best-selling vehicle by 2023, once Giga Berlin and Giga Texas come online and begin volume production. Tesla's free cash flow generation was on the negative side until 2018, when Tesla barely had positive cash flow. Since then, Tesla has continuously increased its cash flow and will likely see strong cash flow generation. For my audience out there, you already know that electric vehicles are the future, but for those who still don't agree with this statement, listen to what the man himself had to say about this.
I think over time, you'll see all manufacturers will make electric vehicles, and eventually all manufacturers will make autonomous vehicles.
Now, of course, reaching that point will take some time, and for some companies, the road there could be a bumpy one. After all, steering a giant, smooth-sailing ship around isn't that easy. It will take time for all the existing giants such as General Motors, BMW, Ford, etc. to convert from gasoline engine vehicles to electric vehicles. But when it comes to autonomy, Tesla is open to licensing its technology to others that are interested in having autonomy as part of their vehicles.
Autonomy will be such a significant lifesaver and preventer of injuries that it is not a technology we want to keep to ourselves. So I think it will be morally right to license it to other manufacturers if they would like to use it.
Tesla, of course, isn't the only company working on autonomous capability. Others such as Baidu, Mobileye, and GM Cruise have been working on it for quite some time. Tesla, however, is approaching to solve this problem by solving computer vision using just cameras, while others have a more conventional approach using a combination of cameras, LiDAR, and a variety of sensors. If you want to learn more about autonomy and how others compare to Tesla, I highly suggest you watch these videos. Now, many of you are familiar with Tesla's pricing strategy. Tesla has sometimes temporarily increased the price of its vehicles, though their focus has always been on reducing the cost and, if possible, increase gross margin at the same time. This isn't an easy task, but as this chart illustrates, Tesla has been able to do just that.
Our goal really is to make the cars as affordable as possible. We are seeing significant cost pressure in our supply chain, so we've had to increase vehicle prices, at least temporarily, but we do hope to actually reduce the prices over time and make them more affordable. Yeah, unfortunately, we've just expedited. The sheer amount of money we're spending on flying parts around the world is just not great, but hopefully temporary. And we need a lot of batteries.
When it comes to batteries, Tesla bought 26% of all battery cells used by the auto industry in 2020, despite accounting for only 0.7% of car sales.
And in supplier discussions, some of our suppliers have just asked me outright, are we going to just, put them out of business or something? I'm like, not at all. As many cells as you want to make and supply to us at an affordable price, we will buy. No limit. Increase by 100%? Sounds good to me.
This tells a lot about Tesla's future plans in not only making sure they have enough batteries for all their vehicles as their production volumes increase, but also using any extra batteries they have left over in energy storage products.
Over time, we think the demand for stationary storage is going to be at least as high as the demand for vehicles.
Sustainable energy is going to be the key for a sustainable future. As our energy needs increase, so should the ability to capture and store energy from solar and wind. If you want to learn how the world could be powered by solar, you should definitely check out this video.
Sometimes people ask me about fusion, and I like it as an idea. And by the way, I think it's totally doable. But there's a giant fusion reactor in the sky that shows up every morning, and zero maintenance. So I'm like, so sounds like a good deal, you know? Or just catch a little bit of that sunlight and power Earth. A shockingly small amount of land is needed to power Earth.
Now, in order to store such a large amount of energy, the cost of batteries would have to come down significantly. This is a slide we already saw on Tesla Battery Day last year, but it illustrates how Tesla plans to bring down the cost of its batteries and the cost of building a factory. Tesla has 3 new factories, the most recent one being the one in Texas. Giga Shanghai, however, now officially exceeds Fremont in production.
It's the best quality, lowest cost, and also low drama, so it's great.
Tesla earlier threatened to move its headquarters from Palo Alto, California to Austin, Texas, which just now became official.
I'm excited to announce that we're moving our headquarters to Austin, Texas. Just to be clear, though, we will be continuing to expand our activities in California. So this is not a matter of sort of Tesla leaving California. As I said, our intention is to actually increase output from Fremont and from Giga Nevada by 50%. So, but we're just hitting the sides of the bowl. I mean, if you go to our Fremont factory, it is jammed. I mean, it is jammed. It's like, whoa. There's a limit to how big you can scale in the Bay Area. So,
although gigafactories may seem like are getting bigger, this is certainly not the case with all factories. Not all factories will get bigger with each iteration, but they will get more advanced and more efficient. Tesla's long-term competitive advantage will be manufacturing. Tesla went over this in more detail on the Battery Day last year, so check that out if you aren't familiar with this. The link to my video with a breakdown of the Battery Day will be in the description below. Tesla spends quite a lot of time on Impact Report, which goes into detail on how Tesla approaches everything with the environment and safety in mind. From vertical integration to vehicle safety, it also includes emissions data over the life cycle of its vehicles, the efficiency of the EVs, EPA range, raw material mining, battery recycling, and much more. Check out the impact report if you haven't yet. The link to a PDF is in the description below. A carbon tax is something that's been talked about a lot lately. At first, it may sound like a great idea, but as soon as you get into the details, it doesn't sound that great. With all the lockdowns happening around the world, companies are coming up with new ways to reduce our carbon footprint. Here's an example. Credit card companies are coming up with credit cards that monitor CO2 with every purchase you make and cuts off your buying ability when you reach your maximum allowed carbon score. It doesn't sound that great now, does it? For instance, the Autonomy is a CO2 monitoring credit card backed by the UN and the World Economic Forum. Welcome to the impending green dystopia of Agenda 2030. Personal carbon allowance is something that I think should not be implemented. Anything that limits or restricts your ability to choose and live freely on this planet is a big no for me. On the other hand, I do believe companies should follow Tesla's footprints in order to reduce carbon emissions. If Tesla can do it, so can other companies. In fact, many businesses have already taken steps to reduce carbon emissions by choosing suppliers that are closer or suppliers that are eco-friendly and other changes within everyday operations. But I'm curious to know what you think about carbon credit. Is it worth implementing for businesses and personal purchases? Let me know in the comments below. If you're still here, thank you. There's more to cover in this video, but before I continue, I'd like to bring your attention to protecting yourself online in times when hackers and ransomware are on the rise. A bicyclist in Florida got a strange email from Google. It said law enforcement was requesting his user data. He had 10 days to go to court if he wanted to fight it. The cyclist found out he was a suspect in a burglary. His Google location pinged him near the scene of the crime nearly 1 year ago. Law enforcement wanted to access his phone, however, he was innocent. He was simply at the wrong place at the wrong time. But his Android phone seemed to have betrayed him. This is why having a VPN is so important. Surfshark can hide your location from tech giants on top of already hiding your internet history from your ISP. Using a VPN prevents tech companies and law enforcement from false accusations, like what they did to this cyclist. I highly recommend Surfshark VPN. Get 83% off and 3 extra months for free when using my code EVSource or the link in the description. Surfshark offers a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's no risk for you to try it out for yourself. Thanks to Surfshark and all of you for supporting the channel. Now, continuing on the topic of safety, Tesla's factory safety is currently 18% better than the industry average. This might not sound significant, but when you have thousands of employees working in a factory amongst large machines and robots, injuries can and do happen. So it's obviously important to not only have safe vehicles, but also make the factory environment as safe as possible. Tesla's AI Day was important to change the fundamental perception of Tesla. People still think Tesla is a car company, which it is, but it's much more than that. The AI portion of Tesla is not well understood. Tesla is as much a software company as it is a hardware company. After the AI Day, the daily applicants by role skyrocketed for AI positions. If you want to learn more about Tesla AI Day, check out this video right here. And just a reminder, the links to these videos are also in the description as well. Now moving on to Cybertruck, which was originally scheduled to be released towards the end of 2021. But due to multiple supply chain shortages, it is being moved to the end of 2022 and reach volume production in 2023. And hopefully the semi-truck and the new Roadster will go into production in 2023 as well. As for the 4680 battery cells, they will continue to be manufactured in the Fremont pilot facility. Texas will likely start making them next year, which should be more than enough to scale Model Y. Also, Tesla might start scouting locations for a new factory next year. But according to Elon, Tesla can do a lot with Giga Berlin and Giga Austin. Once Fremont and Nevada factories expand production by 50%, and also with Giga Shanghai expansion, Tesla can do a lot with the existing factories, and should be able to get to over 5 million vehicles from these factories. Tesla currently has a factory pretty much on every continent. Ideas for the next potential factory have been floating around, and so far the likely options are India, Australia, and US East Coast. Having the vehicles produced close to where they're being delivered is ideal for multiple reasons. It reduces CO2 emissions, and of course it's more cost effective. This reminded me of Arrival, a UK-based EV manufacturing company whose approach to building EVs is quite different from Tesla's. They are building microfactories to make vehicles close to where they will be used. If you want to learn more about Arrival, the link to the video is in the description. Now, one thing that really makes Tesla stand apart from most other companies is the sheer talent they hire. A common misconception is that you just hire a bunch of engineers and slam them together to solve big problems and create amazing things. But as Elon already pointed out, that usually isn't how it works. When you're working on cutting-edge technologies, you need exceptional talent. There is no factory that stamps out exceptional and talented engineers.
You know, and the excellence of an engineer matters tremendously. There are the huge differences in engineering talent.
The world is changed by exceptional people. Our history is a testament to that. Think Nikola Tesla, Albert Einstein, Isaac Newton, and Galileo, just to name a few. The world would be a better place if we just allowed exceptional people to do what they do best. I believe Elon Musk is one of these people, and we should always support them and follow their lead. Change is inevitable. It's always happening. I'd much rather see change happen through exceptional people and not some government bureaucrats or corporate CEOs. But going back to Tesla, as you know, Tesla is expanding its line of vehicles, though it lately has been pushing new products further into the future due to supply chain issues. Over time, however, Tesla is aspiring to make all major variants of vehicles, one in every significant category. This means there will likely be a van or a minibus, an aircraft, a motorbike, and even a boat. The growth opportunities are almost endless, so if you still think Tesla is worth less than what it is today, you are on the wrong channel here. Maybe you should go follow people like Gordon Johnson. Just saying. The housing industry is also changing rapidly, with new requirements being implemented for all new houses. UK became the first to require all new homes to have an EV charger. Others are not too far behind. Tesla's Powerwall and solar roof are now making rapid progress. In particular, Tesla now has relationships with a number of new home builders that are expected to gather significant momentum. So far, Tesla has not advertised its products at all, but is now thinking to run a campaign for solar roof. So we might see some form of ads soon.
A lot more electricity production that needs to occur as we move to an electric vehicle future.
The electricity usage will almost double with electric vehicles. Local power production with a battery to buffer the power will become an important factor to prevent large spikes on the grid. Tesla developed a software called Autobeater that will automatically stabilize the grid using solar and batteries available in the local area. This will likely be first tested in Houston, Australia.
So this is a lot of work both at the local level of electricity distribution and at the utilities. Utilities got to expand, and there's got to be solar and batteries at the homeowner level. I think solar roof will see massive growth in the years to come.
But the transition to solar, just like the transition to electric vehicles, will take a while. So mining for raw materials to be used in batteries will continue for decades into the future before recycled batteries can fulfill most of the battery needs. Yes, recycling batteries remain an important factor since well over 90% of battery materials can be recycled and reused. But it will take a while before we can mostly rely on recycled batteries, instead of digging new materials from the ground. Tesla currently has a number of projects going on in the background, one of which is a 100 megawatt battery storage in Houston, Texas, which probably got the green light after the severe winter storm that left many without power. More such projects are likely to take off in the years ahead. Tesla Insurance is another project that is slowly getting approved state by state. Car insurance, in my view, should always be based on your driving history and driving telematics. If you are good and a safe driver, you should not be paying as much, whereas someone with a bad driving record for whatever reasons will be paying more for insurance. This would incentivize the vast majority to drive safely, making roads safer. But then what do you do with those who simply don't care about their own safety, nor do they care about paying more for insurance if money isn't an issue? These are just some of the questions surrounding insurance, but I think we will eventually get to a point where everyone will have insurance similar to Tesla's insurance. That's all I have for you this time. Thank you for tuning in, and before you go, hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. See you in the next one. Stay safe and take care.